Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. We're here to solve this irregular Sudoku by Slovakian author Matúš Demiger. It was featured in the latest Sudoku Grand Prix. It was worth 126 points. It was the highest pointer in the round, and I am really frightened at the prospect of having to solve this puzzle. So the special rule here is that the regions are not the usual 3x3 blocks. So they are those squiggly regions, and this is what we have to work with. So first thing I wish to note is that here we have one region, here we have a second region. So they contain the digits from 1 to 9 exactly twice. But this is also true for the last two columns. And if we remove the common digits, we are left with this, which means that removing the common digits, we have these remaining two digits for the union of those two regions, and those two digits for the union of the last two columns, and therefore those digits must be the same as those. So this form, another way of saying this is that 4 is nowhere in here. It must appear somewhere in here, but it must also appear a second time in the last two columns, and the only place is here. And for the same reason, this digit does not appear in here, it appears in this region. Oh, sorry, the 4 was here, not there. And this digit must appear twice in the last two columns. It can't appear here. It appears exactly once in here. Oh, the 4 was actually here. So this digit, which is not in here, which is already once in here, must be a second time in the column, so it has to be the 8. So I was completely messed up in my explanations. I hope you will manage to make sense of it. And the same is happening here, with those two digits being the same as those two. For the same reason, 5 is nowhere in here. It's already once in those cells, and it must appear a second time in those two columns. It can only be here, and likewise the 1 is here. 1 is here, it's also here. That makes 2 appearances in the first two columns, so 1 can't be anywhere in here, and it has to be there inside this region. So that's the kind of nice logic that you encounter in irregular Sudoku. 4 is nowhere here, so it will be here inside this region. And is there anything? Yes, 5 can only be here inside this region. And we can see that 4 and 6 are not in here, but they must appear inside this column. So it will be 4 here, 6 there. And for this column, 3, yes, those two digits. Yes, those two digits are nowhere here, and they are not 4, they are not 1, so they must be 5 and 3. So 3 here and 5 there. Another way of seeing this is that those digits must be 6, 7, 8, 9, which, by the way, places constraints on them. Let's pencil mark heavily. Likewise, here we need 1, 2, 3, and 9. should I do? 1, 2, 3, 9, and 2, 9 here. All right, that's a start. We can see now that 7 inside this region will have to be somewhere here. The first row needs 2, 5, 7, 9. And by the way, this 8, well, something we can see is that here we have all digits from 1 to 9. And this is true also with this. So those 3 digits must be the same as those. Perhaps I should use some coloring. Let's see, those 3 digits must be the same as those. And something similar is happening here. Let's use some yellow. Those 3 digits must be the same as those. Perhaps it will be useful in the long run. So there will be an 8 in here. And we can see that 1 is in one of those positions. That's not very precise for the time being. I can also see that we have lots of 4s. So there is a 4 in here. What is about 4s? What about, yes, 4 and 6 are not here. They must appear somewhere in this column. And because of that, 4 will have to be somewhere around here. And 6 will be somewhere around here. All of those must be odd digits, obviously. They must be the odd digits. So this is from 1 to 9. Those are from 1 to 8, 9. 2 is in one of 3 places here that doesn't look that promising. Something of interest is that those 4 digits must be the same as those. That is really not interesting at that very moment. All right, where is the next place to look? This last row needs 2, 4, 7, 9. So this is from 2, 4, 9. This is from 2, 7, 9. This is from 2, 4, 7. A 4 would be placed there, a 2 would be placed there, and a 7 would go either way. Well, on this row we need 1, 2, 6, and 7. So this is from 2, 6, and 7. 7 is not in here. It could be here, here, or here inside this region. Well, now where should I look? There is definitely in 2 in one of those cells, which means that 2 can't be here, and that doesn't appear to be interesting in the slightest. 9 is not here, and so it's not here, so in this region 9 is there. That looks almost interesting. almost. Those fives tell us that five is one of those two cells here. And actually, in the central column, 5 can't be here. So 5 is necessarily here in the central column. Well, this was somewhat helpful. And because of those 5s, we can place this 5 inside this region. And this 5 goes somewhere here, it goes there. And 2 now can only be here, which means that the coloring is only for those cells. And 5 inside this region can only be here now. And this is from 2, 7, and 9. So that is a little better. And this here is from 1, 3, and 9. Okay. I think we have all 5s in the grid. Now, where do we need to look? Oh, now is something very interesting. As I mentioned earlier, there is a 2 in one of those two cells. And this cell sees both of them. It sees this one in the column, and it sees this one in the region. So this can't contain a 2, or it would remove 2 from all cells on this row. So 2 is here, and that is not a 2. Two is around here. And now inside this region, 2 can only be here. Nice. This here is from 1, 8, and 9. It's always quite difficult to know where to look in this kind of puzzle. This is precisely what happened to me when I test solved this. By the way, this 2 is not here anymore. Those are from 1, 6, and 7. We still need a 3 somewhere on this row. It won't be here, it will be here or there. And that doesn't seem to help. This is from 1, 8, and 9. Oh, digit 3 on this row. It's not here, it's not here, so it's here. It's been sitting there for quite a while, which means that this yellow digit is not a 3, and now this here is a 3, 7 there. This is from 169. Still 4 candidates for this one. Okay. Those 2 digits are not here and they are not here. So those 2 digits must be this one and this one. And that doesn't seem to help a lot. Oh, but what helps is that 4 or 6 are not here and not here. They must be here. So that this is a 1, 7 there. We get the 3 here, the 7 there. That's not a 7. And this row needs 6, 8, and 9. This here is not a 6. There's already the 6 down there. So one of them is here, the other one is here. So this is from 1, 7, and 9. 3 is not here, so on this row, 3 is there. Inside this, we need digits from 1, 3, 8, and 9. This is from 1, 8, 9. I'm tempted to pencil mark heavily. I shall resist that temptation for the time being. So this is still not over. Where will be the next place to look? The position of 3 on this row is here. There's a 3 up there. Not so helpful. We still don't know about the position of this here or there. And I'm stuck once again. Stuck in a loop again. That was a song by Devo. 4 and 7 are not here, so this is, and that's not a 1. Oh, I've been missing this. 1 is not here, 1 in this column is here, and that's a 7. All right, so now there's a 7 in here. Which prevents this from being a 7. Oh, actually, 7 is either here or there, and that doesn't seem to help. Really not finding what I'm supposed to see at this point. When I prepared this PenPa interface, I just cruised through the puzzle. This is not happening again. Definitely not. So let's recall that those 4 digits are also those 4 digits. Which doesn't seem to tell me anything. There must be some other geometric wizardry, and I'm not seeing it. Is it about digit 2? I'm just looking at the positions for 2, and they don't seem to tell me anything. The same applies for digit 9. I'm not sure I want to pencil mark to use some coloring for this digit 9. I can just say that this 109 is somewhere here. And that doesn't tell me anything. So this is from 2, 6, and 9. The positions for 4 will absolutely be of no use. That is for certain. I'm saying I'm saying absolutely nothing actually. What are the positions for 7? Inside this eye-shaped region, 7 will be around here. But does it help? Oh, it kind of helps. A 7, oh, 7 here. Let's say I put a 7 here. Then 7 will have to be in one of 2 places there. And there's no more room for 7 inside this region. So 7 here doesn't work, which means that this is a 2-9 pair. It places the 4 here, the 7 there. Now, does it really help? I hope it does, because now 7 is no more in here. 7 will appear somewhere in here. This is from 1, 6, and 9. Because of that, 7 will be somewhere in there. this row 7, we have to be there with the 3. That's a 3-7 pair. Four is around here. Inside this region, 2 is in one of those places, which means that this can't be a 2. And by the way, on this row, now 7 can only be here. So this is from 1, 6, and 9. This is from 1 to 6. This is from 6 and 8. 4, 6, 8. I don't feel like I'm that much closer to the conclusion. And yet it should be the case. Oh, inside this region, 8 is around here, so that is a 6, and that is 8, this is 4, this is 6, this is 2, this is 1, this is 6, so there's no 6 in here. On this row, 6 is here, 8, 9 pair here, so that is 1, this is 9, this is 1. This is also 1. That's not a 1. 8, 9 pair here, so this is not 9. This is 2 or 6, but there's a 6 here, so this is 2. This is from 1 and 6. 1, 6 pair here, so that's not a 1. We get an 8, 9 pair in this column, so that's not a 9. And inside this column, 1 goes there. That's not a 7, so that has to be a 3, which places this 7 and this 3 on this row. This is from 8, 9, and by the way, here we get the 8 or 9. So this is 7, this is 9, this is 7, that's a 6, that's a 1, this is 9, this is 6. This 2 places the 9 here, the 2 here, the 9 there. That's 8. This is 9, 8, 9, 8. This column needs a 2. This is a 9, and this is a 4, and this is it. And I am absolutely exhausted. And it really feels like the first time that I solved this puzzle, that on many occasions, I felt completely lost, but I didn't give up and finally solved it. I know that some people found it much easier than what I just experienced, and good for them. Congratulations, and thanks for watching this video. See you soon on SudoKanard.